Probably doing something right now that's quietly shortening your life. And I'm not talking about what you eat or how much you exercise. I'm talking about the everyday habits that most people don't even think twice about. In fact, you may be doing these things without realizing the damage they're causing. What if I told you the habits that are stealing your years aren't the obvious ones? The ones you're not paying attention to, the ones that seem so harmless. Stick around as we uncover the 8 hidden habits that are silently shortening your life, and I'll show you how to break free from them before it's too late. And if you find this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below to share which habit you have. Let's take this journey together. Number 1. Bottling up your emotions. Think about this for a second. When was the last time you really let yourself feel something without holding back? Most of us, especially as we get older, tend to bottle up our emotions. We've been taught to stay strong, to not burden others with our feelings. It's something many of us just do without thinking. After all, you might feel like you've been through enough and can manage on your own. But here's the kicker. Ignoring your emotions is actually one of the most dangerous things you can do for your health. I remember talking to Frank, 78. He'd spent most of his life keeping his emotions tightly under wraps. When his wife of 50 years passed away, he didn't cry. He didn't talk about it much, just said, "I'm fine." To him, expressing grief seemed weak, like he had to keep going, no matter how much it hurt. But something changed after a year of silence. Frank started feeling constant tightness in his chest, headaches that wouldn't go away, and a sense of heaviness that weighed on him all the time. His energy was low, and his sleep was disrupted. One day, his daughter noticed and asked him, "Dad, when was the last time you really let yourself cry?" It was like a light bulb went off. He hadn't realized how much he was carrying until he finally sat down and talked about it, letting those emotions out. And just like that, some of the pressure started lifting. Here's why it matters. When you bottle up your feelings, it triggers chronic stress. Your body is in a constant state of tension, which can lead to elevated blood pressure, inflammation, and even heart problems. This isn't just emotional stress, it's physical stress that affects your heart, your digestion, and your immune system. Over time, that quiet strain adds up, and your body starts showing signs that it's been holding on to things for too long. But here's the good news. Letting those emotions out doesn't make you weak. It's actually one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's like unclogging a drain. When you start expressing what's inside, whether it's through talking, journaling, or just taking a moment to reflect, your body begins to heal. You'll feel lighter, more connected, and even more energized. You don't have to turn your life into therapy sessions, but even just a few minutes each day to acknowledge how you're feeling can make a world of difference. Frank's health began to improve, not just because he let go of his grief, but because he realized that bottling up those feelings wasn't helping him. It was silently damaging his body. So, what can you do? Start by checking in with yourself. When something gets to you, don't just push it aside. Let it out in whatever way feels right. You don't have to carry it all alone. Talk to someone, write it down, or even just sit quietly and reflect. Emotional release isn't a sign of weakness. It's the gateway to better health, stronger relationships, and yes, even more years on your life. Number 2, letting relationships fade away. Have you ever sat in a room full of people, yet felt completely alone? As we get older, it's easy to let relationships slip. Life moves on, family members get busy, friends pass away or move far away. It's almost as if over time, we start to lose track of the connections that once meant so much to us. You might tell yourself, "I don't need anyone anymore," or "I'm fine on my own." But the truth is, neglecting meaningful relationships doesn't just make us lonely, it can slowly steal years off our life. Let me tell you about Joan, 73. She lived in a nice, quiet neighborhood, surrounded by family and friends, but she had one problem. She didn't feel truly seen by anyone. Her kids were busy with their own lives, and her friends had either moved away or were dealing with their own health issues. Joan would go for days without having a real conversation with anyone. On the outside, she seemed fine. She'd say hello to the neighbors, smile at the cashier, but on the inside, she was struggling. It wasn't until she joined a local volunteer group that things started to change. One afternoon, she showed up to help serve meals at the community center. There, she was introduced to people who actually listened to her, asked about her life, and made her feel like she mattered again. Joan told me, "I didn't realize how much I missed this kind of connection. It's like my whole energy shifted. I started to feel alive again." That simple act of reaching out to others brought Joan back to life in a way she never expected. Here's the thing about loneliness. It's not just about being physically alone. You can live in a house full of people and still feel disconnected, unheard, or unnoticed. That emotional isolation can be more damaging than you think. Studies show that loneliness isn't just a feeling. It has a real physical effect on your body. It can increase your risk of heart disease, depression, and even dementia. It wears on you slowly, like a drain on your energy and spirit. And because loneliness is such a silent killer, it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. So what can you do? Take a look around you. Who do you still have that you can connect with? It doesn't have to be a big circle of friends. Even one deep, meaningful connection can change everything. Reaching out doesn't mean you're a burden to others. It means you're giving yourself the chance to live a fuller, richer life. If you feel isolated, don't wait for someone else to make the first move. Call an old friend, invite a neighbor for coffee, or look for a group in your community where you can give and receive support. Joan found connection by volunteering. Maybe you can find your way through shared interests, church groups, or even online communities. Remember, relationships aren't just nice to have, they're essential for your well-being. Meaningful connections keep us grounded, they give us purpose, and they give our health the boost it needs to thrive. You're never too old to build new connections, and it's never too late to reach out and say, "I'm here, and I'd love to share this moment with you." Number 3, neglecting sleep and staying up late. When was the last time you got a good night's sleep? And I mean really good, deep sleep. As we age, we tend to think less about sleep. Or worse, we convince ourselves it's okay to stay up a little longer each night. Maybe we tell ourselves, "I'll just finish watching this show," or "I'll go to bed after one more cup of tea." But here's the truth. The habit of staying up late regularly is slowly wearing away at your health. It's not just about losing sleep. It's about the cumulative damage it's doing to your body over time. Take Henry, 80, who spent his evenings watching TV until late into the night. It didn't seem like such a big deal to him. After all, he wasn't out partying, just winding down. But over the months, Henry started to notice that he was more tired than usual during the day. His memory wasn't as sharp, and he felt more irritable. He'd also started gaining weight, and his blood pressure was creeping up. It wasn't until his doctor asked about his sleep patterns that he realized how much damage he was doing to himself. "I didn't think staying up late could hurt me," Henry said. "But now I know, sleep isn't just about resting, it's about restoring." What most people don't realize is that staying up late messes with more than just your energy levels. It messes with your circadian rhythm, that internal clock that controls everything from when you fall asleep to when you wake up, and even how your body repairs itself while you rest. As we age, our circadian rhythm weakens, and pushing it out of sync only makes things worse. Without enough deep sleep, your body doesn't have the chance to heal properly, which increases your risk for heart disease, high blood pressure, and even memory problems like dementia. And let's not forget about the toll it takes on your mood. When you don't get the sleep you need, you become more stressed, more anxious, and just plain more worn out. That constant fatigue can make everything in life feel harder, from making decisions to simply getting through the day. The good news? It's never too late to change. Start by setting a bedtime routine for yourself, even if it's just 15 minutes earlier than usual. Avoid screens. Yes, that includes the TV and your phone. And try a warm bath or some light reading before bed. Your body will thank you, and you'll feel the difference in your energy, your focus, and your overall mood. So here's my challenge for you. If you're still with me and you're ready to make a change, drop a yes in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to prioritize your sleep starting tonight. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. Don't miss out on the rest of the tips I'll be sharing with you on how to live a longer, healthier life. Number 4, ignoring your health checkups. How many times have you thought, I'm feeling fine, I don't need to see the doctor right now? It's easy to put off checkups when we don't feel any immediate pain or discomfort. After all, if nothing's broken, why fix it? But the problem with this thinking is that our bodies don't always give us obvious warning signs, especially as we age. Many serious health issues don't show up until it's too late to catch them early. This is where regular checkups come in. Skipping them can be like ignoring the oil light in your car. By the time you notice something's wrong, it might be too late to save the engine. Let me share the story of Arthur, a man who thought he had all the time in the world. Arthur was 76 and a proud, self-proclaimed tough guy. He'd never been one to complain or go to the doctor unless he was absolutely forced to. He worked hard all his life, and his mantra was simple: if I'm not in pain, I don't need a checkup. He felt fine, so why bother? One afternoon, Arthur felt a bit winded while walking to the grocery store, but he shrugged it off. Just out of shape, he thought. It wasn't until a few weeks later, when he collapsed while trying to climb a flight of stairs, that he finally went to see a doctor. Tests revealed that Arthur had advanced heart disease, something that could have been caught years earlier with regular checkups. He was lucky to get the care he needed in time, but for Arthur, that was a wake-up call he couldn't ignore. Here's the thing. As we age, our bodies are constantly changing. Blood pressure can rise without warning. Cholesterol levels can skyrocket. Certain cancers or diabetes can develop slowly without any obvious signs. And if we're not proactive about our health, we can miss the subtle clues our bodies are giving us. Regular screenings can catch issues like these early, when treatment is easier and more effective. A simple blood test, a routine eye exam, or a heart scan could be the difference between managing a condition easily or facing a major health crisis. But it's not just about preventing disease, it's about giving yourself peace of mind. When you stay on top of your health, you can live with confidence, knowing you're taking care of yourself. And when you catch problems early, they're often easier to treat, which leads to a better quality of life in your golden years. So what can you do? Start by scheduling that checkup you've been putting off. It might seem like a hassle, but it's an investment in your future. And trust me, there's no better time than now to take control of your health. Regular checkups give you the information you need to take charge of your well-being. Number 5, sitting too long every day. When was the last time you stood up and moved around just for the sake of moving? I know it can be tempting to settle into a comfortable chair, especially after a long day. There's something comforting about sinking into a favorite spot, watching your shows, or just relaxing with a book. But here's a little-known fact. Sitting for long stretches can be one of the most damaging things to your body. It may seem harmless at first, but over time that stillness can hurt you in ways you don't even realize. Take George, 80, for example. George spent most of his days in his recliner, watching TV, reading, or just resting. He'd get up to eat or go to bed, but otherwise he was sitting, sometimes for hours at a time. He'd often joke, "I'm just taking it easy, I've earned it." But after a while, he started noticing some troubling signs. His legs felt heavier, he was getting short of breath after just a short walk, and his balance seemed off. What George didn't realize was that all that sitting had taken a toll on his circulation and muscles. His doctor explained that staying sedentary for long periods reduces circulation, weakens muscles, and puts unnecessary strain on his heart. It's easy to ignore the effects of sitting, but it's like a slow, quiet erosion. Sitting for hours a day leads to poor blood circulation, which can result in things like swollen legs, varicose veins, and even blood clots. Your muscles, which should be working regularly to keep you strong and flexible, begin to weaken. And this isn't just about feeling tired or stiff. It impacts your overall energy, metabolism, and even your mood. Being sedentary makes it harder to stay motivated, leading to a vicious cycle where the less you move, the less you feel like moving. The good news is that it's never too late to break the cycle. The key is movement, and it doesn't have to be anything intense. George, after learning about the dangers of prolonged sitting, started setting small goals for himself. Every 30 minutes, he'd get up and take a short walk around the house. He'd stretch his arms, walk to the kitchen for a glass of water, or do a few simple heel raises by the sink. These small actions, repeated throughout the day, helped boost his circulation, strengthen his muscles, and improve his energy. Within a few weeks, George felt like a new man. He had more stamina, his legs weren't as heavy, and he started feeling more connected to his body again. It's not about doing a full workout or joining a gym. It's about breaking the habit of sitting still and reminding your body that it's meant to move. The simplest solution is to make a rule for yourself. Every hour, stand up, stretch, and move. Whether it's walking to the mailbox, doing a few stretches, or simply standing and shifting your weight for a minute, you'll notice a difference. These little breaks throughout the day keep your body active, your blood flowing, and your muscles engaged. Number 6, eating while distracted. How often do you eat your meals without paying full attention to what you're eating? As we get older, it's easy to get caught up in the habit of multitasking, eating while watching TV, scrolling through the phone, or chatting with family members. It seems harmless, doesn't it? After all, it's just food. But here's something you might not realize. Eating while distracted can lead to overeating, poor digestion, and weight gain, and even affect your overall health in the long run. Let me share the story of Betty, 74, who never really thought twice about eating her meals while watching her favorite TV shows. "I've done it all my life," she said. "Nothing wrong with a little entertainment while I eat, right?" But Betty had been noticing some changes. She'd been putting on weight, her energy wasn't what it used to be, and she didn't feel satisfied after meals anymore. Her meals were always rushed, and she rarely noticed when she'd finished eating. After visiting her doctor, she learned that eating while distracted was a big part of the problem. When we eat without paying attention, our bodies can't fully process what we're doing. We chew too quickly, don't taste the food properly, and often end up overeating. We also lose the ability to truly register when we're full. What's more, this type of eating habit can negatively affect our metabolism, making it harder for our bodies to break down food efficiently. You see, when we focus on the food in front of us, we give our bodies the time they need to properly digest and signal to our brain that we've had enough. The act of slowing down and savoring every bite helps our bodies stay in sync with our natural hunger cues. It also helps reduce the likelihood of overeating, improves digestion, and helps our body better absorb nutrients. Betty, after making the change to sit down at the table and focus solely on her meal, noticed a surprising difference. She started feeling fuller with smaller portions, had more energy throughout the day, and even started losing a bit of weight without trying. "It's amazing," she told me. "Just paying attention to what I'm eating has made such a big difference. I feel better, and I actually enjoy my meals now." It doesn't have to be complicated. The next time you sit down to eat, try putting away distractions. Turn off the TV, put your phone on silent, and focus entirely on your meal. Take your time with each bite. Chew slowly, enjoy the flavors, and ask yourself, "Am I full?" These simple changes can have a profound effect on your digestion and overall well-being. Now, if you're still here and you're ready to take control of your eating habits, I want you to comment "mindful eating" below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want more helpful tips like this to live a longer, healthier life. Let's slow down and enjoy our meals together. Number 7, living with constant noise. Do you ever find yourself surrounded by noise, even when you're alone? In today's world, we're constantly bombarded by noise. It's the hum of the refrigerator, the buzz of the TV in the background, the constant chatter on the phone, or even the noise of traffic outside your window. We often don't realize it, but noise, especially constant background noise, can have a serious impact on our health, both physically and mentally. And as we get older, this noise doesn't just fade away. It starts to weigh us down in ways we might not even recognize. Take Samuel, 78, who always had the TV on in the background, even when he wasn't watching it. It became his norm. He'd wake up, turn on the TV, and leave it running all day long. He thought it made the house feel more alive. But as time went on, Samuel noticed he was always on edge. He had headaches more often, felt anxious for no reason, and couldn't focus. His sleep was light, and he felt drained all the time. It wasn't until his doctor asked him about the background noise in his home that Samuel connected the dots. The constant hum of the television was keeping his nervous system on high alert, even when he wasn't consciously aware of it. This might sound strange, but constant noise is a stressor, one that we've grown so accustomed to that we don't realize its effect. When your brain is always processing noise, even at a low level, it doesn't get the break it needs. That continuous stimulation can cause your heart rate to stay elevated, your blood pressure to rise, and your mind to stay restless. It's like trying to relax in a room where the lights are flickering all the time. You might not always notice, but your brain can't rest. Research has shown that prolonged exposure to background noise can increase the risk of anxiety, depression, and even heart disease. The effects are cumulative, subtle at first, but over time, they begin to take a toll on your health. But here's the good news. You have the power to create quiet. It doesn't mean you have to live in complete silence, but making space for quiet moments can have a profound effect on your well-being. Samuel, after realizing the impact of his noisy environment, made a small change. He started turning off the TV for an hour a day. He replaced that time with a walk outside, or sometimes just sitting quietly in his living room, listening to the sounds of nature outside his window. Slowly but surely, he noticed his stress levels dropped, his headaches became less frequent, and his overall mood improved. It's amazing what a little quiet can do. Taking just an hour a day to turn off the noise can give your mind the break it needs. Try sitting in silence, focusing on your breath, or listening to the peaceful sounds of nature. Even if you're not able to spend an hour, start with 10 minutes and see how it feels. Your mind will appreciate the space to reset, and your body will thank you for it. 8. Keeping lights on at night. What's the first thing you do before going to sleep? Do you make sure all the lights are turned off? Or do you leave a light on because it feels safer or more comforting? It's a common habit. Leaving the hallway light on, or keeping a bedside lamp glowing through the night. Many seniors, especially as we age, find comfort in having some light at night. It feels safe, soothing, or familiar. But here's the catch. What you might not realize is that keeping the lights on at night can seriously interfere with your body's ability to get the rest it needs, and this disruption could be silently stealing your energy, mood, and even your health. Let me tell you about Marjorie, 81, who had been leaving the lights on at night for as long as she could remember. "I've always been like this," she told me. "The dark just doesn't sit well with me anymore." Her bedroom was lit by a soft nightlight, and the hallway lights were always on. At first, it didn't seem to be a problem. But over time, Marjorie began to notice that she wasn't waking up feeling rested anymore. She'd wake up multiple times throughout the night, toss and turn, and feel sluggish the next day. Her mood was down, and she noticed she was becoming more forgetful. When she went to the doctor, she was surprised to learn that the light exposure at night was affecting her sleep cycle. Our bodies are wired to respond to light and dark, which helps regulate our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells us when to sleep and when to wake. But when you keep your body in a state of artificial light, like with a nightlight or a glowing bedside lamp, it confuses your body's natural signals. It doesn't release the sleep hormone melatonin properly, making it harder to fall asleep and even harder to stay asleep. And it's not just about feeling tired the next day. Studies have shown that consistent disruption of your circadian rhythm can increase the risk of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and even depression. You may not notice the impact right away, but over time, that simple habit of keeping the lights on could be quietly harming your health. So, what can you do? The good news is, the solution is simple, and it doesn't require giving up your sense of security. Start by dimming the lights as you get closer to bedtime. Switch to a softer, amber-colored bulb if you prefer a nightlight. These lights emit less blue light, which is what affects your sleep cycle the most. If you need a nightlight for safety reasons, consider using one that's red or amber instead of a bright white or blue light. This small change can make a world of difference in how well you sleep and how you feel when you wake up. Marjorie, after making this small change, turning off the brighter lights and replacing her nightlight with a softer amber bulb, began sleeping better within a week. She woke up feeling more refreshed and had more energy throughout the day. She even said her mood improved and she was no longer as forgetful. I had no idea how much of an impact the lights were having on my sleep, she said with a smile. If you're still with me and ready to give your body the rest it truly deserves, try dimming the lights tonight and see how you feel tomorrow. Drop "I'm sleeping better" in the comments below if you're going to give it a try. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more tips on how to live longer, healthier, and with more energy every day. Let's make the most of the nights we've been given. Well, there you have it. 8 subtle habits that could be quietly shortening your life, and more importantly, what you can start doing today to change them. Remember, it's not about making huge changes all at once. It's the small adjustments, the ones you can easily implement today, that can lead to a healthier, longer, and more vibrant life in the years to come. I hope this video has given you some new insights into how you can improve your well-being. If any of these habits hit home for you, don't wait. Start making those changes now. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself because you deserve it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep living with purpose, and remember, it's never too late to start making changes that'll add years to your life and life to your years.